Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep. My name is Agork. Today I'm going to be speedrunning Stranded Deep yet again. Today though I have a reason for doing this, and that's because Speedy Deep, my cohort, beat my time. So he has the new world record. And I just couldn't let that stand, so I am going to be trying to beat his time. Now, for something different and new, Speedy and I have discussed this in private messages on speedrun.com. We discussed that it would be a cool idea to maybe speedrun each other's world seeds, because getting a fresh set of eyes can sometimes really help. So today I thought, well, I really liked the seed that he used for his speedrun. It's clearly a good seed. So I thought, I'm going to try and beat his time on the same seed. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. The video will start in the background. You can see the seed is on the screen here, if you want to check it out yourself. And I do a slightly different route than Speedy does on his speed run. And this is after analyzing his speed run. I found kind of an error that he did, that something that he overlooked. You can see Speedy Deep's world record run on YouTube. Just search for his name, Speedy Deep, and it should be the first video that comes up. So check that out. It was a good run. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. And I guess for you guys watching this on YouTube, if you guys want to see a video on how I go about picking my world seeds or analyzing them and then planning a route and actually doing them and stuff, let me know, because that would be something that I could do like a 20-minute video on. If you like my content, subscribe to my channel, comment below, like the video, all that kind of stuff. And enough chit chat. Let's just get right back into the video. Let's go. Okay, so here we are on our day one. We've loaded in. Grab our stuff. Get bumped by a shark. Good start. Grab a crate. Into the first wreck. Second crate. Piece of leather. Nothing else in there. Get hit by the shark again. So basically in the beginning here, I'm grabbing a few crates. I need probably 6, maybe 7 crates to start off with to put all my stuff in. And it works best generally if you can get those crates, empty them, and get them ready for all your stuff right off the bat. And making some stone tools. This is primarily to make an axe and also to increase my crafting skill right from the very beginning. Stone tools are kind of the quickest thing you can craft in the very beginning to increase your crafting skill. And then refined spears are also very good. And of course, making lashings out of fibrous leaves. Though you do have to collect like 4 of those in order to make 1 fibrous leaf. So they're not quite as effective, but you need them anyway, so might as well do it. Killing a couple of crabs, again, just to increase my hunting skill. Now what I'm doing here is I could be making a refined knife already, but I find that I don't even really need the refined knives, so I try and wait until I have enough crafting skill to build an axe. And here my inventory was full, so I just have to drop a bunch of stuff before I can pick up the axe. So I've got 4 crates already. I'll try and empty these out in a minute. I'm trying to drop my stuff in piles here so they're organized already. So I've got all 3 of the yucca trees. Now, one of the first things I want to do is turn these stone tools into a refined axe, because it's a lot more efficient than a regular axe. You don't have to worry about durability and stuff like that, and maximizing the use of them and stuff is just not relevant in a speed run. So I've got one jerry can, that's a good start. And with these new crates, with the new extra slots and stuff, I mean, they're great for carrying stuff, but it's also a lot more junk that you have to sort through in a speed run. So, I mean, most of this stuff I don't even need. So, I mean, look, I'm dumping it all in the ocean here because I just don't need it. Only thing I need cloth for in a speed run is a couple of bandages. You start the game with one bandage, so really another one or two is probably sufficient. I've gone through an entire speed run without using a bandage at all, but in certain cases you do need to have them if you get bitten by one of the bosses, or a shark actually gets a hold of you by mistake. I say by mistake because, I mean, you don't plan for that, obviously. But, yeah. One of the things with Speedy Deep's run that I mentioned in the intro, he got attacked by the giant squid a couple of times. He used up his bandage, and then he got attacked again, and he didn't have another bandage. So that kind of screwed up his run. He had to make an extra side trip to get a bandage from another island, which kind of slowed him down. He lost probably 1.5 to 2 minutes on that speed run. So yeah, that's something that I know that he can improve on just by avoiding getting bitten or having the extra bandage. So I have no doubt that he will beat my time again. I beat him here, but I don't beat him by so much that, you know, there's no chance in hell that he's going to beat me. I fully expect him to beat me again, which is fine because I only ran this seed. This was my second time running this seed. My first time, I think I got a time of about 51 minutes, I think it was. And that's without me knowing where anything was, not having run the seed before and stuff like that. And you can always improve your time by rerunning the seed. You kind of get more familiar with each island and you know, where everything is, which wrecks to avoid because they were a pain in the butt. You could have got stuck, you know, stuff like that. So here I'm just emptying some crates. I'm moving these 3 crates out of the way because those are the 3 crates that I'm going to use for sticks, spears, and coconuts. And the rest of the stuff I'm putting into these other crates. I always like to have 1 crate which is for the fuel still stuff. And I need 4 lashings there. Any excess lashings will go towards coconuts, making water containers for coconuts. So this will be sticks. And this one will be water. And this one will be spears. And this is just a miscellaneous one. I've already got 2 label makers in there, I see. But hey, don't need that many. I've got a whole bunch of them. So I decided to put food in that one. It's going to be a bit of a mishmash of stuff in there, but have to label it with some sort of name. Now here I actually make 3 bandages. I don't really think I needed 3, but I tend to not use that many, but better safe than sorry, I guess. Okay, so now I'm going to take the air tanks and head into the wreck. The other end of the wreck, I didn't go down there because it's all blocked off. And in my first speed run, I actually went down there, tried to go down there twice, because you know, you kind of get so used to running these wrecks that you always go down the same spot. But I couldn't go down there, so that's why I started, then realized, oh nope, can't go down there. So I had to go to the other end of the ship. And And here I'm not going to take any of the crates. I'm just taking the stuff out of the crates that I need. And this is kind of the quickest way to do this. If you try and pick up all the containers, most of the stuff in the containers is crap. So I realized there's a poisonous snake hiding behind that crate, so I had to back up there. So I don't want to take any of the containers. I just want to take the stuff out of them that I need. That's why I went into this with 0 inventory. And I think I'm just debating whether I got everything or not. And then through the back here, I always get stuck on that one spot right there. And this wreck always screws me up because it's facing the wrong way. I'm used to the other end of it being closest to shore, so I think that's why I kind of get screwed up a few times on that wreck. Okay, so we got 2 fuel cans. We've got the 4 planks that we need. We've got the 4 lashings that we need. We've got an extra 4 lashings. I can put those in the water container. So I'll need those to be making the water flasks or whatever you call them. Trying to make it pickaxe here, but I'm not leveled up enough, so... Now I'm chopping down all these trees, trying to do these all real quickly. These are all ficus trees. They take 3 hits of a axe and you get 4 sticks out of it, so... It's just super convenient to do this on the start island. Once you get to a large island, they don't have ficus trees. They only have small pine trees, and small pine trees take a lot more hits of an axe and produce only 1 or 2 sticks. So this is a smaller ficus tree here. It only produces 2, but all of these other ones that I've been doing produce 4 sticks. So just quickly running around chopping them all down, grabbing the potatoes that are on the island. And this is where Speedy Deep kind of messed up on his speed run. I don't think he realized that there were extra potatoes on this island. Like he must have seen that one, but he missed the one in the bush that I grabbed. And then I think there's one more here that I find somewhere. I'm looking carefully along the edges of all the bushes. I always do this in my speed runs. And there's a potato that's almost invisible there. That the only reason I saw it is because I moused directly over it. So that's why I do that, because having 3 potatoes on this island makes a world of difference compared to if I had only seen the one that was obvious. And the reasoning for that is because you need 8 potatoes total, and you're going to get maximum 3 on any islands. So if you find 2 islands with 3 potatoes, and your start island, like this one, only had 1 potato, that's 7. So you can't get 8 potatoes out of 7. So you have to hit 1 more island. But because I do manage to find the extra potato, or even 2 extra potatoes for that matter, it means that I can eliminate one of the islands. I only have to hit 3 islands if I can find 2 more islands that have 3 potatoes, or even just 2. One of them has only 2 and the other 2 have 3. As long as you can get to 8. And I managed to do that in this speed run, hitting only 3 islands. Whereas Speedy Deep, when he did this seed, he hit 4 islands. Actually 5, because he had to also get a bandage at the very end. So yeah, this is basically why I beat his time. Now I fully expect Speedy Deep to learn from that and to come back and rerun this seed and beat my time, probably by a couple of minutes. So that's fine. This was my 2nd run on this island, so I think when I watch it back, I see a couple of things that I could improve on slightly, but we get into other stuff, which I guess I'll keep this for the analyzing video if I do one. I would actually like to do that, so I hope you guys would be up for that, because it is quite an interesting process of how I go about checking out seeds and determining whether it's worth my time even to try and run it or not. And at what point do you just give up and say, nope, this seed just isn't going to work? So yeah, let me know down below if you'd like to see that. I hope you do want to see that. Anyways, yeah, I don't want to give away too much, so I won't talk about that anymore. Yeah, here I'm just gathering up all the sticks and everything. Putting them into my wood crate. Basically need one full crate to make the 2 water stills and the fires and the, what do you call it, the kindling and stuff. And the rest I'm turning into spears. And again, this is great for leveling up. Plus, of course, you need the spears to kill the bosses, or at least the squid. I don't actually use any spears against the eel or the megalodon normally. And in this run, I actually do have 2 refined spears. I had enough leather there that I could make a couple of refined spears. And I prefer refined spears over an axe, but I do use both of those in attacking the bosses. Basically, this has been really a good starter island. I've got everything I needed. I'm grabbing coconuts. A couple of these trees have 2 coconuts in them, so fantastic. I need at least 10 coconuts for my drinks of water, and another, at least a stack of 4 coconuts for food. Because I have a bunch of rations, I know that I can use some of my food allotment at the carrier in rations, but I will also be consuming those at times during the run, so having at least 4 coconuts as food as well as the 10 for water is pretty much essential. So here I've got enough to make 6, and I make sure I leave 1 lashing to make a shelter. So drop those closer to there. And now the sun is going down, so I need to make myself a shelter real quick here. I could have used some sticks that were already chopped up, but didn't really want to, so... Not sure why I rotated that, it was just hit the wrong button. So, sleep for the night. Now here you can see I wake up really early in the morning. This is something that is a bit of a random thing that you have no control over in a speed run. It's 4:46 in the morning, so basically I woke up at 4:45 in the morning. That's crazy early. The sun doesn't come up until 6, so I've got an hour and 15 minutes here of darkness before the sun even comes up. And depending on what you have planned for day 2, that can be a bit of a problem. But it doesn't have to be. You can kind of use the time to sort through stuff like I'm doing here. And I realize I've got an extra fuel can, which I didn't realize, so that's great. That gives me my 3rd fuel can. Freaking perfect. Here I'm taking this extra crate and I'm trying to maximize my space here. That's the island that I have to go to. Oh, and we got a whale here. Hello, whale. I was debating on that island whether to chop down one more palm tree so that I had the things I needed for a shelter on the very final night. But I decided that I'll try and remember that for later. I didn't want to waste too much time just sitting around there. So I've got 6 water flasks there. I'm just seeing how many more I need to get lashings for. So I need 10, so I need 4 more lashings. And I grab 1 more coconut to fill out my stack of 4 for food. Decide it's still too dark. I need to take this with me. So I need 4 lashings, so I'm going to grab some of these fibrous leaves. That's enough for 1. Just being a little bit cautious because of snakes. Managed to make 3 lashings there. Got the 3 potatoes. The crab coming, so I'm going to try and play Ring Around the Rosie here with him while I get my leaves. So I made 1 too many water flasks, but that doesn't really matter. Other than I'm now short of coconut, so it does actually matter a little bit. I have to waste a few seconds here to grab an extra coconut, but it's not like it's a big deal. Got 6 potatoes. All the fuel and stuff that I need there. Food and bandages. Clay. Got 1 lashing there. So that one is a little bit empty. And that one's completely empty. So I decided to take down the palm tree and get the palm bunch as well. And this is again for the shelter that I'll need on the final island. And I decided here to get another lashing just for that, which was probably a mistake. I should have just taken one of the lashings that I had already. But it didn't take, again, it didn't take very long to get it, but that was probably a waste of time a little bit. I debate whether to turn those sticks into spears and decide that no, I don't need them. And there's a storm brewing here, so this is not ideal. When you're searching for a boss in a storm, that's really not much fun. It's hard enough to see them in regular sea conditions, so when there's a storm, it's like, oh, come on. And this first boss fight is the Megalodon, and I don't know if you're familiar with the dead whale at the Megalodon, you probably are, but in a storm, it just hovers in the same spot. It doesn't float. It is in a fixed position in the world, so with the waves going up and down like they do in a storm, sometimes the whale is completely underwater and sometimes it's hovering, you know, a couple of feet or meters above the water. So kind of a weird physics thing. But you can see the whale there was high and dry, hovering above the water, and now it's underwater. Pretty crazy. Plus the visibility is not good in a storm, so as you can see I'm having a hard time finding the shark. He keeps disappearing on me. I decided to switch over to my spears. I just feel more comfortable using the refined spear. I don't know if it's able to jab any quicker than the refined axe, but I do actually prefer to use the refined spear. I don't know, just a matter of personal taste. And I love that view where I can just swim and you can see the inside of his mouth. If you can see his throat, you're probably too close. As you can see here, I'm trying to control my speed swimming so that I'm not swimming past him. It's pretty difficult to do though. And a lot of times I do actually swim past him, which makes him turn around and go the other way, so then you have to turn around and catch up to him. But, you know, it worked out. Finding the correct island on the horizon, and again swimming off, and in a storm I can't see the island, so I have to rely on the compass here completely. Oh, actually, I'm going to the eel here. So this is a real tricky one. Trying to find the giant eel in a storm. The antennas are already difficult to see, but luckily I do find it pretty much right away. The fact that the waves ebbed there and exposed more of the conning tower, that actually helped. So that was great. This eel is pretty loud, so I'll try not to talk too much while I'm attacking the eel, just because it's hard to hear over his noises. But it's pretty much the same thing, is that I'm trying to control my speed so that I don't swim too much past him. And I'm being very careful not to chase him too far away from the shipwreck, because otherwise he'll despawn. The eel is good because when you're attacking him, you can kind of keep him close to the shipwreck. He often will circle it as you're poking him. He keeps changing direction, whereas the squid is more likely to just swim in a straight line if you're trying to keep up with him, because he swims so darn fast that he'll swim out of range and respawn. So yeah, the shark can do that as well, but it's something you have to be aware of with all three of the bosses. But the eel, I think, is the one least likely to do it. Alright, so now I'm heading off to the third and final island. We're in the middle of a storm, still mid-morning, so I think our time is still really good. Okay, so I need 2 potatoes on this island. I think I have 6. Just checking I have everything that I need here. I've got a couple of extra lashings. I've got more than enough water. I've got 4 coconuts. I've got my shelter stuff. So I don't really need much of anything on this island other than the 3 potatoes, or at least 2 of them. I end up taking all 3. Grab a kura fruit. You can see there's also a koala fruit, so I take that as well. Gets my food and water right up. So I've got 1 extra potato, decided to just eat it. Realized that I don't have any rocks, which of course is something you'll need on the final island. And the final aircraft carrier doesn't have that many rocks. I think there's maybe only like 1 or 2, if any. I'm not even sure if they have any on that island, to be honest. So I have to run over here and grab these rocks right where the 2 giant crabs are, so they start chasing me, of course. So that's the 6 rocks I need for my fuel stills. I've got spears, I've got sticks, water. Decide to get rid of that one completely. Just going to drop the lantern. I don't really need it. Grab my spears. And I'm pretty much ready to go. Now, because I'm taking on the squid next, it takes a lot of spears, so I'm going to take down a couple of ficus trees and make some spears. You have to be careful you don't have too much in your inventory, though. If you take too many, you're going to end up struggling to have, you know, things in your hand while you're throwing spears and stuff. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. And away we go. We're off to the final boss fight. You can see the aircraft carrier in the distance. Pretty smooth run up to now. Nothing really has gone terribly wrong. A couple of small little things where I wasted 5-10 seconds here or there, but it doesn't really matter in the long run because of the way the timing works with the fuel still. Here I can't even get up on the stupid buoy ball there, or buoy thing there. Trying to find my spears. Now I can't carry them all, so it's like, okay. And I don't dare put down the crates on the buoy because they'll get knocked off into the ocean and disappear. So I put the axe in there and just start the battle with a small number of spears, because that's basically all I have space for in my inventory. Now, ideally, I'd like to go into the squid fight with 2 crates full of spears and the inventory space to be able to actually carry them and not have to fiddle around and risk losing anything important. But that doesn't always work. Especially when you have all this stuff. Now, ideally, you would want to either take out the boss really early on in the game, or, you know, like I did in my previous speed run where the bosses were located just beyond the carrier, so I actually could drop off all my important stuff at the aircraft carrier before I took on the bosses. That's what's kind of ideal in my world, but for speed, you don't want to have to make any side trips or extra trips. And doing it in my previous speed run where I stopped at the carrier, that was actually an extra stop that isn't really necessary, but it was short enough of a detour that I thought it was worthwhile, where I got my 44-minute time. And here, I struggle a little bit because I just don't have the inventory space with the crates that I have for my fuel and all the stuff I need for the fuel stills. It's a little bit more of a pain dealing with that. Trying to take on the eel without getting bitten. If you're swimming fast enough with the speed glitch, he can't really get a hold of you too easily. So I'm trying to change my direction and go up or down or to the side as I hit him and stuff, which hopefully prevents me from getting hit, or bitten, sorry. And he does get a hold of me. I do have 3 bandages, so it's not like it's a big deal. Not like Speedy, who didn't have a bandage, or didn't have enough bandages. You see how fast he is? He's just so fast. And I can't swim after him because I risk that he swims out of bounds and then he respawns at full health, which is just stupid if that happens. So I get him killed and it's a mad dash back to the aircraft carrier. We're about 32 minutes in here and yeah, all I have to do is cook my fuel and escape. I think at this point I'm thinking, wow, this might even be a sub 40 minutes. But it always takes longer than you expect to get stuff done. So even though I have everything I need, it still takes me 10 minutes to get this completed. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so all I have to do now is build my 2 fire stills. Okay, built. Now here I'm in good time. It's still daytime, it's late afternoon. I'm going to get the fire stills going here. But because it takes so long to cook the fuel, these things are not going to be done until the morning. So even if I had gotten here a little quicker, like if I had saved 5-10 seconds here and there, it wouldn't really have made any difference whatsoever because I still have to wait for morning. I can't cook the fuel quick enough that it makes any difference. So here I take my food and water, and because it's still light out, I have time. Otherwise, I'll just be standing there twiddling my thumbs and looking like an idiot. So I decide to go up, and I'm going to get this sequence up here done. So we've got this cutscene that plays. And I have time to put in my food and water. Decided to drink 2 of them. I didn't really need to do that here, but it's still light and I can't really do anything until my fuel is cooked anyways, so I decided to actually make sure my health was completely up. So I still have 2 rations. I don't have the fuel yet, so I'm going to make my airplane parts. And here we're about 36 minutes in, and now it's just a waiting game. Now, because the actual final cutscene from once you get into the airplane takes 3 minutes, we're right at the border here of, is it possible to even do this in under 40 minutes? Because that 3-minute cutscene at the end really adds to your time. So even if I was completely done now, I still have to sleep the night. There's no other way to get the fuel other than to wait for the night to go by. So if I had slept right there, if it had been dark and I slept right there, we're at 37 minutes. So it would have still been right at around 40 minutes, if not slightly over, because I still have to run upstairs and put the fuel in. So I probably wouldn't have been under 40 minutes anyways. Now here I'm just basically wasting time. I add an extra piece of wood to the fire just to make sure that it's going to cook all the way through. And now I'm just waiting for the sun to go down. Now because I got up at 4:45 in the morning, I have to wait here. If I had woken up at 5, it probably would have been about perfect. I could have already been sleeping and heading up to the top there. If I had woken up at 7 in the morning, it would have been dark a little while ago, and I might still have been able to do this, or I might have slept the night and then done, put the food and the water into the carrier stuff in the morning. So how much quicker you can do this is a little bit limited, and depending on the game mechanics of how the time works in the game. All right, so here I am with my fuel. Don't want to fall in the hole. It's so dark though, I can't see anything. My first run on this island, when I got 51 minutes, I got stuck on those stairs for like 30 seconds because I couldn't see. Here I did manage to get up okay, so that's all right. Here we're about 39 minutes in, waiting for the final thing. And from here it takes 3 minutes. So now it's just a matter of waiting for this sequence to finish, and we're done. So that was pretty much that run in a nutshell. That will be the current world record until Speedy Deep reruns it and beats my time again. I'm confident he will, and then I'll have to try and improve it again, or find a better seed that is a little tighter packed or something, I don't know. And yeah, I would like to discuss that in another video, which I think I'm going to do even if you guys don't tell me to, because I kind of want to do it for my own interest. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to my channel. I've got over, 6,000 subscribers now? 6,100 and some odd, so 6,200, I can't remember. I don't pay that close attention to it, but it's fantastic. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Watch the final scene. The final time will come up on the screen, and that will pretty much be it. We will catch you again in the next video. Bye for now.